Hey, good looking. What's cooking?
I am going to start some soup for our lunch.
Some soup?
Soup.
Do you have an idea of what this soup will be, or are you just making it up? The farmer in.
LeDell.
The farmer in.
LeDell.
Hi ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
LeDell.
You're just making it up. Okay. Well, at least this time we'll have it documented on video as to what went in it, so that there's a possibility of replication.
Because I don't do recipes.
Even when you have a recipe, you don't follow said recipe.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I think I'm going to put a little something else in it. And your measuring devices typically resolve around the palm of your hand. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
That's not everybody's measuring tool?
Pinch, a dash, a
I
smidge.
own measuring cups. I do.
And I am the only one that uses them, I think. But, anyway.
Anyway.
The most important part of the recipe is the dash of love in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or throughout, yes.
Yeah. Mixed in thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not beaten.
As long as it's what?
It's not beaten in.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you know at this point what's going to be in this soup?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I kind of just start cooking.
So it's whatever you see that sounds good.
So I know I want it to be vegetable-y, you know.
That's a scientistical term.
Vegetable-y. And I know I want to put meat in it, so I got meat going over there. So it can cook. And I will have the vegetables cook in the olive oil in this pan. And then once I get the vegetables cooked down a little bit, I'll add some broth and the meat and then spices and get it all happy and merry.
Happy and merry.
Mm-hmm. It's that time of year. It's the merry kind of year.
It's a holly jolly soup stock. And
No,
a merry...
technically we're using bone broth for this. So.
Okay. Well, I tried.
You try. Yes. Anyway, I just make it up as I go. Kind of thing. Kind of using what we have and going from there. Giving the animals their little treats.
Oh yeah, so for those that don't know, this guy right here, that's what we take out to the chickens and the ducks.
Most people would call it an ice bucket. We call it the goodies.
I don't even know where we got that from.
I
think
know.
it was like a garage sale or...
I don't remember where we got it actually. I'm like, did somebody give that to us? 'Cause I don't remember.
Don't know. Somewhere along the lines we ended up with it. That's all I can
We don't use it for ice very often, so
No.
I thought, it's got this cool little lid, so why not use it as a chicken, well, chicken and duck treat bin.
Well, and I can say the chickens already recognize it.
Yeah.
You come out with that and
They're
they
like, "Ooh."
will not leave you alone.
You brought something for me. And this is not an instructional video, just so you know. I don't do that.
So you won't be giving out times and quantities?
No times, no quantities, no measurements, unless you say a scoop and a hand.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just cook. And I don't normally film it because I'm too busy cooking to remember.
No, we just thought we'd throw a little something different in there, kind of mix it up, because not everybody really likes car stuff, and that's not what our channel's about either, so this will be something to just kind of
break it
up a little bit. And then of course we put most of our stuff in playlists, so if you are interested in a specific subject, then you can go to the playlist and then you can watch multiple videos on that same thing within our channel. Because we just film what we do.
Yeah, the farming, the gardening.
Yeah, none of this is like
yeah.
specifically
We don't
set up.
stage it for
No.
content.
I don't have that much
Our
time or
life is
talent.
not staged for content, sorry. This is it, people. It's just real.
Yeah, and if it turns out sideways, then it turns out sideways.
Then it turned out sideways.
Yeah, either you'll see what we recommend not to do next time to make it better, or if it's horrible, not on the cooking version, because LeDell's never made a horrible meal yet, ever.
So you say.
Well, unless I was helping too much, I'm just going to say, if I have a project that goes completely sideways and I just end up completely frustrated, then that's probably not going to get seen, because
the only
it's
time I've
not
done that
entertaining.
is if I'm trying to make sourdough. I cannot master that yet.
That's your nemesis, kind
That
of,
is my nemesis right now. And I will make it work eventually.
You just got to step away for a minute.
Yeah. I just have to take a break and then I'll
So,
go back at it.
Have you tried other kind? I mean, I know you've made like banana bread and you've made zucchini bread. Those have all been good.
Oh, I'm generally good at bread and just not sourdough.
Okay, so bread in general, okie dokie.
Yeah, but sourdough is my favorite kind and I want to make it.
Agreed. I love sourdough. Well, just keep trying, I guess.
Yep.
Well, and it's the making of the bread isn't necessarily the part that's getting you. It's getting the starter started.
The starting of the starter isn't a problem. It's like by day 4 or 5,
Okay.
I'm like, why is it not doing what it's supposed to be doing?
Gotcha. Maybe it's that following a recipe thing. That's a very slow smile creeping across her face right there, folks. That means I may have a point, but she's not going to agree that I'm right.
I followed the recipe.
Okay.
Even used measuring tools.
What?
Told you I own them.
What? I don't know.
Maybe that was the problem. I used measuring tools.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, looking at the measuring tool to judge how big of a scoop you should have in your hand isn't really measuring. I mean, maybe for you. I'm not that accurate.
I'm going to add a little more olive oil to this too.
Sure. Should I measure this out? About that many?
Yeah, like that.
All right, I'm gonna call that a tablespoon and a half. That was 3 laps around.
So what kind of soups do you like, dear?
Warm. No, scratch that. Hot. Yeah, not scald your mouth hot, but warm food.
Well, here I thought you were going to say homemade.
That would have, yes, homemade. We'll edit the rest of that out. Homemade is the kind of soups that I like. Well, and that is true though, because when we were perusing the aisles of the old grocery store, we were trying to find like a soup that
like emergency soup, you know, like.
Yeah, we try and have something in the pantry that's just like, okay, if the power goes out and it doesn't come on for 3 days, because that's a thing out here. It's not regular, but it happens.
It happens.
We wanted something that we could just warm up on top of the stove, and we don't currently have any soups in our pantry because we don't have a pressure cooker yet.
Yet.
Well, we have a really old one, but we're not real certain of its state of safety. So LeDell's like, nah. Anyway, we were looking at like some of the, not so much the ingredients as such, but the sodium levels, the amount of salt that's in store-bought soup. It's insane. And I understand that's partly to do with, like, so that it's shelf stable and stuff like that. And let's face it, salt is cheap and has flavor. but that should not be the
It
flavor.
shouldn't be the only flavor.
Yeah. So yeah, homemade soup way better. And we have been making a lot of our own like bone stock and
Bone broth.
bone broth. Yeah, sorry, bone
Regular.
stock. I knew that wasn't right.
Regular broth, yeah.
Yeah, but we, as you can see right over there, we have had to buy some too because, again, we don't have a pressure cooker, and if it involves a protein, or, you know, meat, whatever, it's not shelf stable.
Right.
So it's use it or lose it.
Yeah.
And
We did make lots of fun stuff from the turkey broth, though.
Yeah.
We had lots of yumminess from that.
well, and a couple of chickens and stuff like that. We had whole chickens that we did broth off of afterwards. I say we, meaning it like, you know, I ate
You did it. You did it, dear. You did it.
Yeah, I may have stirred or moved a pot when it was heavy. That's where the we stopped. So I wonder if onions are kind of like eggs. The older they are, the easier they feel.
Maybe. I don't know.
So-
certainly not feeling very well.
Isn't there something, the chickens can eat the onion peels, but the ducks can't, right? Or something like that? Or is that just...
Chickens can eat it, yeah. You just don't want to overpower them with onion or with like peppers or because then honestly the eggs start tasting funny. So yeah, I minimally put the onion stuff in there, you know. I'm sweating out the vegetables first.
Is that what it's called? Sweating?
Well, yeah, technically. I did a little bit of oil and then I'll put a little bit of water in here and a little bit and let it finish.
A little bit and a little bit.
Ooh, those onions are strong.
Oh, did you frog up your glasses?
Open up the glasses.
Give me a moment.
Damn it. Smells really sausagey.
Sausagey. That's a scientific word right there.
We're using all the scientific words today.
Yes.
'Cause that's just how I talk.
So, sausage and vegetables. So far.
Yep.
So far. What's the next ingredient to go in the soup?
We'll add the broth here in just a minute after it's done steaming, basically. And then add some spices. And then in about 20 minutes after that, after it simmers, I'll add in the mushrooms because mushrooms tend to overcook. And these are fresh mushrooms, so you don't want to overcook them or they'll be spongy and gross. So the mushrooms will be like the last ingredient that I put in. But yeah. So we'll get the broth and the spices in here in a little bit. Finally getting down there to where they're all kind of getting translucent.
Mushified?
Well, not mushy, translucent on the onions.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, might need my strong man. Ah, no, I died. We're good. And I added just a little bit, like tablespoon, maybe two, of water to it to steam it to get it to that point, but I think we're to the point now we can add our goodies. All right, so I'm gonna add the meat first. Oh, I should probably get a hot pad. Nope. Just gonna use our beef bone broth this time. And yes, we want
That's
this.
on the lid.
Alright, and now it's time to start seasoning. Alright. Time.
We all need a little more time.
Little more time. Just a little bit of garlic powder. And just a little bit of basil. Onion powder.
Go along with your onions.
Yeah, I always put a little onion powder if there is raw onion in it. And a little bit more of parsley. It's more of a milder flavor. We got pepper. And some salt. We'll stir it in.
What kind of salt do you use?
I use Redmond salt, so there's not really any additives. So it's good
it's,
for
it's
your
non-iodized too.
non-iodized. Yeah, no additives, non-iodized.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're just gonna bring that up to a simmer and let it simmer for about 20-25 minutes, and then we'll add the mushrooms. So we're waiting.
Alright, we'll be back. So if you're melting butter in a saucepan, that means something happy's about to happen.
I'm gonna make sand.
Gonna make what?
Sand. That's the consistency you want. It's roux to thicken the soup.
Okay. So you slowly melt the butter so as not to burn it, and you add flour to the powder? Okay, I see.
Till it's wet sand.
All right. Well, I know you're not going to talk us through the whole thing, but should we just put it in giddy up later and watch it happen? Sure.
It's kind of boring, but okay.
Well, you can show everybody how you do it.
Okay.
If that butter would ever melt.
Now it's getting all bubbly, see?
Mm-hmm.
Wet sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like a touch more, and then I'll be done.
You're going to drip.
It's all right. I'm dripping in a pan.
Oh.
And this has been simmering about 25 minutes. All right. Just give this a few more minutes. It'll thicken up pretty quick. And then we will be ready to eat.
Yay.
Thicker already?
Mm-hmm. All right, so next time they see this, it'll be in a smaller bowl with a spoon next to it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.